Hi y'all, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today guys, we are going to be talking all about summer skincare and body care. I'm going to talk about everything that I have been using this season to kind of keep my skin together because summer is hard on your girl's skin. It is the season that I struggle the most, so as far as keeping my skin healthy and looking good. So let's get into it. All right, so just to give you some background on my skin, face and body. My skin on my face, I am normal to oily, acne prone. I currently use tretinoin 3 to 4 times a week, like every other day. And that has really helped as far as anything to do with like breakouts and acne. But in the summer, my skin tends to break out on my forehead quite a bit from sweating. And so it's a struggle for me to keep my forehead clear of any breakouts. My skin tends to be a bit more congested in the summer because of sweating and things like that. So for me, and I also tend to get heat rash. So in the like earlier in sort of like June, going from like late June to early July, when we had a huge heat wave here in Chicago, my skin lost its mind and I had really bad heat rash all like here. I get eczema in the winter on my lids, and in the summer I get heat rash, so it's lovely. So I had heat rash all around here, so I wasn't able to use a lot on my face. I wasn't really wearing a ton of makeup. I really pared down my skincare. So my skincare routine in general is not very involved because I do have sensitive reactive skin, especially in the summer. So I tend to keep things very pared down, very pulled back. I have things that I use that have actives in them, but we'll talk about how I use those things because I don't use them necessarily how everyone else would use these items or this item. So body. In the winter, my skin is, I tend to deal with dry skin. I have eczema, I get psoriasis, things like that. In the summer, I tend to deal with heat rash. So I try to use products that help calm my skin down, that don't irritate it. I try to stay away from body moisturizers that have a lot of fragrance in them. There are caveats to that. There are certain brands that I can use that are fragrance that don't bother my skin at all. And I'll talk about those once we get to that portion of the video. So again, in the summer, it's all about keeping my skin calm, hydrated, moisturized, cleansed, calm. Those are the goals. So let's get into it. We'll start with skincare, face care. So this is what I use on a daily basis in the evening. In the mornings, I do not put cleanser. I do not wash my face with cleanser. I learned that is not really necessary. And honestly, ever since I stopped using cleanser in the morning, my skin has actually been better. Because unless I'm using like a face mask or something that needs to come off my face, and I don't use those very often. I have them, but I don't use them very often. I wash my face with room temperature water. I use a hydrating hydrator, and then I put on my moisturizer. I did not bring the hydrator, but I use you know what, let me grab it. Hold on a second. So yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't use cleanser in the morning. I just rinse my face with room temperature water, and then I go in with a hydrator. So the hydrator that I've been using and that I've had for quite a while is the Rebalancing Essence, and I use this right after wetting my face with room temp water. I dry, and then I go in with this. And this has 3% glycerin, 2% niacinamide, 2% metal foam seed oil, 1% panthenol, 1% betaine, and allantoin. And this bottle is huge. This is huge. I've had this bottle forever. I feel like there's still so much in here. I'm trying to use it up. It's a good product. For me, I feel like because I use so little, I feel like it's taking me forever to get through it, but it's great value for the money, and it's a milky type of, and I'll show you guys. It's a very milky kind of product. It sinks into the skin really nicely, like beautiful. And see, the skin has like this beautiful kind of like hydrated sheen to it once you're done. It's beautiful. Really elegantly done. I mean, I love Rephr brushes, but I would say don't sleep on their skincare because what I've tried, I've really liked. And then after that, I go in with my moisturizer. So in the morning, this is what I use. I use the Andalou Naturals Probiotic Renewal Cream. And this is a brightening cream with probiotics and vitamin C. And I love to use a vitamin C. I used to love a vitamin C serum in the mornings before I put on my sunscreen, because even though vitamin C technically makes your skin more photosensitive, it actually boosts the efficacy of your sunscreen when they're paired together. Like if you apply your vitamin C and then your sunscreen, it actually boosts the efficacy of your sunscreen. Wild. So I like to use a vitamin C in that capacity, but I really don't like serums. I'm over vitamin C serums. They're very unstable. They can go off really quickly. And I was like, what can I use? I don't need a ton of vitamin C. I just want something that has a little bit of something to it that'll help brighten my skin and also be great under my sunscreen. And I started using the Andalou Naturals cream, I would say in March of this year, April of this year. And this is my third jar. I love this stuff. I was using it day and night, and then I just started using it during the day, and I had another sort of moisturizer that I've been using during the night because I just need something moisturizing. It's okay. I'm not going to talk about that because I don't necessarily know if I recommend it, because it is very fragranced, and I'm honestly just trying to get through the jar of it. I think once I'm done with it, I'll probably look for something else. I didn't want to include it in this because I'm not really I'm not really promoting it, but this I have reached for at night as well, because sometimes it's just right there, and I'm like, I'm going to use this because it's so nice. First of all, it's a beautiful formula. It's creamy and it's moisturizing, but it's lightweight. So you don't, even though it's a cream and you feel like it's got some body, it's substantial, it doesn't feel heavy. So if you have super dry skin and you're looking for a heavy cream, this might not be enough for you, but if you are oily to normal, this will be more than enough for you. I love this in the morning and in the evening, but I'm trying to you see, the jar is small, and if I could use this twice a day and not run through the jar, because I did that with the first jar and I got through it so quickly, and I was like, oh no, that's so if I had my druthers, if I had my I'll use this I would use this twice a day because it's fantastic. And I have noticed that my skin does feel a little brighter since I've been using this, which is nice. That paired with my tretinoin, I think is a really great combo for my skin. So yes, I'll go in with this usually. And then in the evening, I will take off my makeup. I was really into cleansing balms. I still love cleansing balms, but I decided to give cleansing oils a try. It had been some years since I tried them, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about them, but I'm gonna give them a shot. So I decided to pick up, because I've seen other people rave about this. I think Angelica loves this one. Angelica Nyquist, she loves this one. She's raved about it. And a couple other people I know also who rave about it. So I was like, it was on sale on Ulta. I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. And this is the Peach and Lily Ginger Melt Oil Cleanser. As you can see, it is empty. This is going to be one of my July empties. It's a little bit left in here. I feel like I could take off my makeup from today with what's left in here. I like this. I do. I think it's a good oil cleanser. But this is the caveat. I think it's on the higher end as far as price point goes. And I just placed an order with Yes Style for some sunscreens, and I found something that is very, very similar, that is much cheaper. And I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say if I recommend it or not, but this is now empty, and I'm going to try that one. And this one, would I repurchase it? Yes, I would repurchase it if it was on sale, because I do think it's actually a really good cleanser. It's not too heavy, which is the issue that I was having with a lot of oil cleansers. They were just a little too heavy for my skin. My skin was like, oh, please. This is great because it's an oil, but it's not too thin. It's not like a dry kind of oil. It's a perfect consistency. So yes, I recommend this. I just think it's pretty pricey, and if you can find something comparable for a cheaper price, I would say that's a good idea too. I forgot to mention my sunscreen. So here's the deal. I don't use the same sunscreen on my face all the time. I usually use one, and then I finish it, and then I go into the next one. So right now what I'm using is the Purito Wonder Relief Centella Daily Sun Lotion. It's the Urban Defense Centella Asiatica Soothing SPF Plus PA++++. This is what I've been using, and I do recommend this. I do recommend this. The consistency is fabulous. It's thin. it feels hydrating, but and it does give the skin a nice glow. So if you want to put this on and you're like, I don't want to put makeup on, but I want my skin to look good. This isn't dewy. This isn't going to make you look dewy. So if you're worried about looking greasy or dewy, it's not going to do that. When you first put it on, it'll look that way, and then it sinks into the skin beautifully. And it just makes your skin look hydrated. You know, you just look like your skin is healthy. And it lays really well under makeup, which is, you know, important. So for me, I've been just really enjoying this. And it's great for sensitive skin because of the Centella. I haven't had any issues with it. I've been using this every day. This is what I have on under my makeup right now. It's beautiful. So yeah, so in the morning, I forgot to mention this. This is what I use after I've applied this, then I'll go in with this. And then I'm done for the day until, you know, I put my makeup on and everything. Evening, like I said, I go into with that. And then I'll go in with my, my Vichy Normaderm Phyto Action Daily Deep Cleansing Gel, and it is the salicylic acid acne treatment jumbo bottle. I have this the original bottle because I bought this a long time ago and had stopped using it, and then because I was using other things, and then I went back to it and I remembered why I love this cleanser, and I was like, why did I ever stop using it? And then I finished it, and then I was like, I gotta repurchase it. So I repurchased it, and it comes in a new package, and it's a bigger bottle, which is lovely. And it's just, I love this cleanser. It smells amazing. It's got this like really, it kind of has this like spa vibe. It's not heavily scented in that way. Like, I'm not saying it has fragrance in it, but the scent of you can kind of smell like the ingredients in it. And it just has this spa-like scent that whenever I put it on my face, I'm just like, oh my God. It just makes me feel very calm. And what I like about it is it is salicylic acid. So it's for oily and acne prone skin, which in the summer, like I said, in general, my skin is acne prone, but it tends to be more acne prone in the summer because of sweating and your skin gets congested and, you know, humidity, all that good stuff. The way that I use this, because usually when you're using a cleanser that has actives in it, if you're putting it on your skin and then just immediately washing your face, you're not getting literally any benefits of the active because you haven't given it any chance to sink into your skin. Now, I like to use this as just a general cleanser. Like if I feel like my skin is doing fine and I don't need the salicylic acid to really get in there and do some work, I'll just put this on after I've taken, you know, I've oil cleansed and taken off my makeup, and this is my second cleanse. I'll just go in, put it on, and wash it off. Fine, done. But if my skin is like having some moments, having some issues, you know, we in the skin, we need to talk, we have a conversation, then I will go in with this and I'll apply it all over and I'll let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes. I'll put it on my skin and I'll like brush my teeth, or I'll do whatever else I need to do in the bathroom. You know, I'll like, you know, put my hair, put my jammies on, stuff like that. And then I'll go back and I'll wash this off. And that just gives it a little bit of time to sink in. Not too much time, because I'm on tretinoin. I don't like to use too many actives because I don't want my skin to be oversensitized and I don't want to interrupt my my moisture barrier. You know, I don't want it to be too much. I've done that in the past. I know what that looks like and feels like, and so I'm very aware of that, and that's why I pull back on the actives. I feel like if you're using one really good active, you don't need 5 other good, you know, actives. This one for me is like a support active, you know, and so I use this. I wash it off after 1 to 2 minutes. I get a little bit of the salicylic acid to kind of help out, but not too much that would irritate my skin. So once I've rinsed that off, I then go in again with my Rougher Rebalancing Essence, and I go in with my Andalou, or my other moisturizer that I'm not mentioning because I don't think I'm going to be continuing to use. I don't think I'm going to recommend that. I'm just finishing it up, so I'm not going to talk about that one too in depth. But I use one of those 2 moisturizers. And now let's talk body. So body has been a journey this summer. The summer's not been kind to me. But my skin has actually been doing okay as of late, and I think it's because I've found the trifecta of products, and they're from one brand. And I usually don't just like sit here and talk about one brand of products and be like, but I purchased these products for during their Memorial Day sale, and I've been using them ever since, and they have been, and one of them I've actually just almost finished, and I'm going to be placing an order to replace it because this is something that has been a lifesaver for my skin. So first, let's talk about body cleansers. So In the summer, I tend to not be able to use anything that has like fragrance in it. I use fragrance sometimes, and there are things that I can use that have fragrance in them all year round. Like I can use the Salt Air body washes that have scent with no problem. They don't really bother my skin, but like things like the Bath and Body Works shower gels, I like the scent of them, but I was noticing I was using one of them at the beginning, like towards the beginning of summer, and I was getting really like itchy, and like I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to pull back on this. Got to pull back on this. And I had recently placed an order with Prequel, and it was my first time ordering any of their products. And I had been using their, what is this called? This is the Glenzer, non-drying glycerin cleanser for face and body. It is 50% glycerin, inulin, arginine, oat, and aloe. I had been using this on my face. Like I had gotten this, and I was using it on my face, and it was before I had repurchased this. I had just finished this, and I was like, okay, let's try something different, because that's how I am. Yeah, I'm gonna try something different. So I purchased this, and I had been trying it on my face, and I was like, it's first of all, it's a really thick consistency. Like, she thick, 2C's, okay? Thick. And it just felt like, even though it was a very simple formula, it's not a lot going on. It's not, there's no fragrance. It's very like what it is. Like it's 50% glycerin. It's very hydrating. I didn't feel like I needed that for my face. Also, I felt like it was maybe almost too hydrating for my face. I love glycerin. Glycerin is my hydrator of choice, but it was just like almost too much. And I was like, wait, my skin was going through some crazy like moments as far as just like, heat rash. And I was just like, this is for face and body. Let me try this on my body. So I put this in the shower, and I was like, we're going to use this. And this has been a game changer for my skin this summer. It's thick enough that it's perfect for a body wash, like perfect for a body wash. There's no scent. There's no extra stuff in it. So my skin has been able to just be calm, and it's been hydrating it because my skin needed that to just sort of impart, because my skin barrier was disrupted. It needed something that can help, rehydrate and moisturize it, but also calm it. And the aloe and oat are like the two things that help my skin when my skin is like freaking out. Those are the things that help my skin the most. If it's got oat in it, I'm sold. It works for my skin. It just works. So this has been what I've been using, and it's almost empty. And I'm going to repurchase this along with the other two products, because this has been a lifesaver for my skin this summer. So yeah, I've used this every day when I shower. This is what I've been using, and it's been amazing. And then when I got out of the shower, I had been using the Prequel 1% colloidal oatmeal, allantoin, multiceramides, and adenosine barrier therapy skin protecting cream. It temporarily alleviates itchiness and minor irritation due to dry skin and eczema. You see this? It's like almost empty. It's like some down here, but she gone, y'all. She's gone, and I'm very sad. I'm repurchasing all of this because it's been amazing. So this is what I use when I get out of the shower. I put it all over my body. I moisturize every day. And please, people, let me just say this, because I know some people think they don't have to moisturize when they get out of the shower because their skin isn't dry. That's not how that works. If you are applying water to your skin and then you're getting out of the shower and then you're drying off, or you're air drying or anything like that, the air is pulling moisture from your skin. So even if your skin doesn't look dry, underneath it needs that moisture needs to be replenished in some capacity. Please moisturize your skin. It also helps with, if you're someone whose skin starts to look a little leathery, a little dry, a little saggy, moisturizing your skin helps your skin stay youthful looking. It really does. It helps, especially as we get older and you lose collagen. These are the things we need to help. So please moisturize your skin. Thank you for coming to my tech talk. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. This is amazing. I use it all over my body. It's been great. I go through moisturizer like water, because I moisturize after every shower every single day, and that's a lot of moisturizer, so I've been loving this. I've been absolutely loving this, and I will be repurchasing this. The other item that I have been using from Prequel that I was using on my face and my body when I was really dealing with a lot of heat rash, especially on my face, is the Universal Skin Solution Dermal Spray for face and body. And this has 0.2% hypochlorous acid, electrolyzed water, soothing mineral concentrate. This has been fantastic. It is similar. It has the same active, the hypochlorous acid, as I believe Tower 28 does. And I had a little bottle of Tower 28 and I'd finished it. And when I was placing my pre-co order, I saw this and I was like, let's try that. It's been fantastic. I used it on my face. I would cleanse, like when I was dealing with my heat rash, I would cleanse my face. And I was using this. And I will say that I think this was a better option for my skin when my skin was like, you know, had like my heat rash, because it had nothing going on. It's just like after that it cleared up. This was just a little too much for my skin, but at the time it did help just sort of calm everything down, because it's just so brass tacks, you know. So I was using that, and then I would go in and spray my face with this, and I would pat it in and I would let it dry, and then I'd go in with my moisturizer, and this would help my skin so much. I also like it, like I was getting heat rash on my arms, so I was spraying my arms with this, and I'd pat it in. Any little minor irritation, and I get a lot of little minor irritations in the summer, I would just spray this over it and pat it in, and it's amazing. It's just a simple liquid. It's a spray. You spray it on, and I would just spread it and then let it air dry the rest of the way. And it's fantastic. This has been amazing. So all 3 of these are repurchases for me. I have some left in here, so I don't need to repurchase that as of now, but once it's emptied, I would definitely repurchase. And then finally, for body care, of course, sunscreen. So for me, my favorite body sunscreen, and I've been trying a few other brands this past like spring, and nothing was hitting, nothing was vibing for me, and I bought that sun care kit from Sephora during the last sale, and I was trying a bunch of different sunscreens, and the thing that I came to the realization about is that for the most part, I don't really love American-made sunscreens. I just don't. But there's one brand, there's one exception to that rule, and that is Coola. Okay, I love their face sunscreen and I love their body sunscreen. I did not repurchase the the face sunscreen, because I have this and I have a couple other ones. But I had to pick up the body sunscreen because I had been using one from Aveeno, and I didn't like it. The formula was just, it left like a film on the skin. It just wasn't I was just like, I don't like this. So I went back to my beloved Coola, and she never does me wrong. She never does me wrong. And I love this sunscreen. And so this is what I apply on any part of my body that's exposed. So if my arms are out, I'll do that. My legs, you know, how are you supposed to apply sunscreen? If your skin is out, you put your sunscreen on. That's what I use this for. So I like to use this from here down. Sometimes I use it on my neck. I usually use my face sunscreen on my neck, but when I'm reapplying, I usually just go in with this. So I throw this in my bag. I put this all over before I leave, and then I throw it in my bag and take it with me to work. Now, if I'm leaving work and the UV index is still high and the sun is still high, I reapply. So yeah. That is everything that I use I've been using for my summer skin and body care. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Is there anything that you recommend or that you like, that's been like your go-to this summer? Let me know. I feel like this summer has been rough in general as far as like the heat waves. I feel like a lot of us are probably on the struggle bus when it comes to just like keeping our skin like in decent shape. You let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.